Welcome to Chasing Winners. Peter O'Neill, David Shortte and Jesse Erenshaw are about to join you to preview the meeting from Mandurah in the Peel tonight. They will also look in depth at the meeting from Cannington tomorrow night. The boys will also be joined by Ryan Levitsky, who will provide his best over the 2 nights of chasing. Let the chase begin.
Very good morning, everyone. Very good morning to David Shortte and Jesse Erenshaw. First of all, Shorty, how are you?
I'm really well, thank you, Pete. Jesse, everyone tuned into Chasing Winners. Lovely to be with you on this Friday morning. Very exciting weekend coming up. Obviously, we'll look at the chasing, but really special moment for all of the WA sporting public tomorrow out there at Ascot. The farewell to Damien Oliver, an absolute legend of WA sport over the last 3 decades, Pete. And I know that all 3 codes are going to be getting right behind this, as well as the general sporting fraternity. It's a very special occasion, and I can't wait to be out there tomorrow hosting the Tab Touch Punters Challenge Day, and it's a privilege to be there on a day that'll be very, very special and something we'll remember for many years to come.
Yeah, looking forward to that, Shorty. And Jesse, good morning to you. It's a big weekend of greyhound racing, and of course, not only here in WA, but we have the running of the Phoenix Final, where there's a WA flavour. The Britons and Chris Hulse have got involved with Total Container Solutions, who won the Sandgroper early this year, and they've got a live chance in that race. And also the other WA greyhound that ran second in the running of the Melbourne Cup last week. Help me out with the greyhound's name, Shorty.
Big Energy.
Big Energy, that's the one, yeah.
Indeed. So good luck to Kirsty and Michelle Roma, who bred the greyhound. Which greyhound are the Total Container Solutions?
Hector Fawley.
Oh, wow. He'll be nice and strong late, Hector. They're in with good claims. And speaking of slot holders, of course, the team at Punters HQ, Joe Lanuti and co, they've got a spot for next year's Sandgroper, and they'll be represented in this race by Postman Pat. So good luck to Joe and all the team. They're wonderful promoters and wonderful supporters of greyhound racing here in Australia. And absolutely, if Big Energy can't get the job done, Hector Fawley and now obviously Postman Pat as well, any of those 3 would be okay. Given our connections and link to the Sandgroper for next year, Pete, that's already shaping up as a very exciting race.
It certainly is. Let's get into tonight's chasing from Mandurah, the first over the 300 metres, and a very open market here. Hopeland favourite at $3. I'll let you go first, Shorty.
I'm really keen on Hopeland here. I love the performance going back a couple of starts ago now from this very draw when dropping a 17.07. That's a very slick time for a greyhound going around in grade 5-6 company. Quite simply, if it can reproduce that here, it's likely to take a power of beating. From number 5, Argyle Rose, the paw is definitely on the till. It's getting close to a win. Last couple of performances have been close up. It's racing in grand style. Number 1, Dido Bell, has really taken to the new Mandurah circuit. From the inside draw, it can hit the frame, as can number 4, Nitro Park, who's never too far from the action. 7, 5, 1 and 4. Pretty keen Hopeland can get our night off to a winning start.
I've gone the same way. 7, 1, 5, 6 with 7 Hopeland on top was really good 2 back. 17.07, 661 early. There's a bit more pace in this race than when she won that grade 5 a couple of weeks ago, but I think she can get the job done. For second, number 1 in Dido Bell. For third, 5 Argyle Rose. For fourth, I'll throw in 6 Brain Teaser. 7, 1, 5 and 6 race 1.
7, 5, 1 and 6 for me as well. Hopeland on top. We all agree in the first. Let's go to race number 2. And a lot of the races, or all of the races named over the next 12 months will be honouring some of the people that have been involved in greyhound racing over the 50 years. And the Kath Irving is race number 2. And Kath had a lot of very good greyhounds. Kisses for Chaos, the favourite here. Jesse at $3.
I've gone the other way with Quest for Power on top. I thought it was a really good run last week behind Tarzan, a good 22.50 winner over the 400 metres in the past. I don't think the step up and trip won't affect him too much. He seems pretty strong to the line. He's got a bit of early dash. So I'll go with Quest for Power on top. From 3, Kisses for Chaos, a nice run 2 back behind Molotov Boy. For third, number 1, West on Smoky. And for fourth, I'll throw an 8, Cheetah Magic. 4, 3, 1, 8, race 2.
4, 3, 1 and 8 for Jesse. Very similar for me. 4 on top, Quest for Power. Racing well for Jackie Wilson. Number 3, Kisses for Chaos. Very consistent type. It'll be right there in the mix. 1, West on Smoky's right there. This is a really challenging opening race. I didn't have much at all between those three. And then not far behind them, 7 Erasmus Duke and 8 Cheetah Magic. You can make a case for a handful here. 4, 3, 1, 7, include the 8 and trifectas and first fours.
All right, I'm going the other way. I'm going with West on Smoky because of the draw. Really smart win over this trip from box number 5, going back 3 runs ago. Showed speed on that occasion. Holds up from box number 1. 3 for second, Kisses for Chaos. For third, number 4, Quest for Power. And 7, Erasmus Duke. 1, 3, 4, 7 in race number 2. To race number 3 on the program, and this here has West on Willow, the favourite at $2.50, and I think she deserves to be favourite after her brilliant win from box number 8 last week. Shorty, I'm going to be putting her on top for the Damien Credelli kennel, which is on fire. Number 8, Miss Vivas for second, the kennel mate, a greyhound who did win from an inside draw when coming across from from an inside draw 2 starts back, and when coming across from Victoria, won from a wide draw in a qualifying trial. Number 2 for third, Sunset Bubbles, and 5, Moment for Life. 4, 8, 2, 5.
I've gone 4, 2, 7, 8, 4 on top, West on Willow. You're 100% correct. That was a stunning win last time out. Really impressive. Time was on the board, 22.41. From number 2, Sunset Bubbles, like the run last time out. I was very keen on West on Boomer. Sunset Bubbles ran a meritorious second on that occasion. It's been consistently hitting the frame. 5 starts, track and trip, 3 seconds and a third tell you all you need to know. It's a must include for Quinellas and trifectas. Number 7, Circle the Sea.
Just before you go, Circle the Sea's just come out. So the scratchings, I'll go through these. In race 1, scratch 3 Zipping Lopez and 10 Firehouse Max, so 3 and 10. Reserves out of race 2. Race 3, scratch 7 Circle the Sea, who you were going to talk about, Shorty, and 10 Torpedo Girl. And then the reserves are out of the remainder of the program. So sorry for butting in there, but no. Circle the Sea's out.
Save me mucking around there. We'll save Circle the Sea for another night. So 4, 2, 8, Miss Vivas, next best. And I'll include number 1, Westdale Opal for 4th. 4, 2, 8 and 1.
I'll go 4, 2, 1, 8, 4 on top. West on Willow was good. 22.41 winner in the past. Has won over the 5.20 at Cannington, so should be really strong to the line for the second. 2, Sunset Bubbles. A nice run last week behind West on Burma, who's a talented chaser in his own right. For third, number 1, Westdale Opal. Expecting improvement, dropping back down in trip. Last couple of runs have been at the 5.20 at Cannington and the 4.88 at Mandurah. Expecting her to improve soon. And for 4th, I'll throw number 8, Miss Vivas. 4, 2, 1 and 8, race 3.
Race number 4, Jesse, free for all over the 400. The kennel mates Crumble Manelli and All Over Carja head the market here. Crumble Manelli at 210, All Over Carja at 280.
No longer kennel mates, in fact, Pete. Lewis has got all of the Carja. But I've gone Crumble Manelli here. He's the class runner of the field. He hasn't won for 10 starts. It's really impressive for a greyhound who's going at a 50% winning strike rate to not win for 10 starts. We know how quick he is in the past over the old 405. He's run 22.20. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go sub-22 tonight on the arm. For second, 7 Stardo Pando. For third, 4 Semicon Browse. And for 4th, I'll throw in 5 Barrio Beast. 2, 7, 4, 5, race 4.
I'll team up with Crumble Manelli. This looks the right race for Crumble Manelli to work back into form here. Look, it's not like the dog's been going poorly. You need only go back to that performance when beaten less than a length by King Tommy in a heat of the Mandurah Cup. It was excellent work and let us know that clearly the dog's still ticking along quite nicely. In a race like this, there's not a truckload of early speed for a race over the 400 metres. You can see Crumble Manelli rolling to the top, and over this sort of distance, I don't think it'll be getting run down. From number 6 in All Over Carja, continues to race really well for Lewis Clay. Number 7, Startup Ando. Like it when this dog draws off. It's got launch control drawn on its outside. He's also a whitey, so there shouldn't be too much interference. And Startup Ando's last 2 runs have been very good. I think the $17 and $3.30, particularly the $3.30 a place, is quite appealing. And then not much between 5, Barrio Beast. It'll be strong late, as will number 8, Launch Control. Does look the right race, though, for Crumble Manelli tonight. 2, 6, 7, 5. I
agree with you, Shorty. I think Crumble Manelli will be very, very hard to beat, and I think he can bounce back into the winners list. He's been racing very well. I think this distance suits him. Number 6 for second, All Over Carja. 7, Startup Ando. 8, Launch Control. 2, 6, 7, 8 in race 4. Race number 5, first heat of the Dawesville Cup. Very good series for mixed 4 and 5 graded provincial greyhounds, and this race last year was taken out by Forge Manelli and Low Blow the year before that. Short price favourite here, although drifting. Cubit Manelli, I think, will be very, very hard to beat. I like the greyhound at this track and distance, and a greyhound who's run some really quick times up in town recently. So I think he's a standout, but he's at a standout price. Number 1 for second, West on Bambi, I think can follow through Cubit Manelli. Number 4, Mignon, and 3, a little bit twisted. So I'll go for the inside 4, Shorty. 2, 1, 4, 3.
Shazam for me, Pete. Exactly the same in exactly the same order. The Cubit Manelli, very fast greyhound. Obviously been putting together some excellent performances. 21.94 was phenomenal last time out. The other thing is a little bit twisted, likes to get up the track. So Cubit Manelli's going to get that room early, which is all it's really going to need to muster through, get a good look at the arm and then run time. It's likely to be off and gone by the time that's all done and dusted. With that happening and a little bit twisted getting up the track, Pete made a good point. West on Bambi's going to get that lovely trail behind Cubit Manelli. It just needs to grab the tow rope to go home with the silver medal. Number 4, Mignon, I was really keen on this dog last week. I don't love the map tonight with a little bit twisted drawn inside, likely to sort of get off a little bit early. It might just make it a little challenging for Mignon early, but as long as it doesn't take too much harm from that. I love the way the dog's chasing. Last 2 runs have been excellent. Adam Smithson's got this dog right back in the zone now, and wouldn't be at all surprised. If it happens to miss a little bit twisted, it comes into the race, and then 3 a little bit twisted, as I touched on. Just be interesting to see what happens early doors in the race, but the dog's very capable. Number 2, though, Cubit Manelli, on what we've seen, if it gets a clear run, is very fast and should be very hard to beat. 2, 1, 4, 3.
Yeah, 2, 4, 1, 6 for me. 2, Cubit Manelli on top. Can we say track record holder now officially over the 400 metres, or do we have to wait a little bit longer? There?
For now he holds it. You're not telling any lies.
Okay, so Cubit Manelli on top. First dog to ever go sub 22 over the 400 metres is going to be awfully hard to beat as long as he keeps his mind on the job. Second, 4, Mignon. For third, number 1, West on Bambi. And for fourth, I'll throw in 6, Malfetta Cruz, who does like a wide draw, so I think he can really get into the race there. 2, 4, 1 and 6, race 5.
2, 1, 4 and 3, Cubit Manelli on top in race number 5. Race number 6, second heat of the Dawesville Cup. Laurie Kavanagh celebrating 50 years of greyhound racing in Western Australia. Another short price favourite here. Myaniki Boy looks very, very hard to beat.
Certainly does. This is a proper greyhound, Myaniki Boy, another greyhound in the care of Adam Smithson. I think this dog last probably month, I've sort of mentioned it on a couple of the podcasts, he just really has worked out what the chasing caper is all about. We saw that on the, last 2 starts, we've seen that on the clock. 27.04 and then 26.91 last time out. Just blew them up early. Great early pace. Draws to box number 1 here. I can't see them getting anywhere near Myaniki Boy. The dog's flying and looks an absolute standout. From the greyhound who chased home really hard last week, Eugenius, I think it can do similar tonight. Then down to number 3, Sneaky Emoji, and number 2, Stevie Manelli, greyhound that gets back and winds up in its races. I can see Myaniki Boy stretching them out a little bit here, and that generally suits those get-back run-on types to run into a placing. Stevie Manelli could be a dog that could help to jack up your trifectas and first fours. One a standout from 7, 3 and 2.
I'll go 1, 3, 8, 7. Number 1, Myaniki Boy on top. He's won his last 3. He's going to be awfully hard to beat here. For second, 3, Sneaky Emoji. Good run last start when winning in 27.16 over the trip. For third, 8, West on Gecko, a greyhound who does like a wide draw. And for fourth, I'll throw in 7, Eugenius. 1, 3, 8 and 7, race 6.
Yeah, Myaniki Boy to win. 3, Sneaky Emoji, I agree with you, Jesse, for second. Ahead of number 7, Eugenius. 8, West on Gecko. So similar, 1, 3, 7, 8 in race number 6. It'll be interesting what sort of times, if a grade 5 can go that time, Shorty, what time we'll be getting down to? Will we be getting down to the 26.8s, and can they go lower than that?
I don't think that there'd be many going much quicker than what Myaniki Boy did there last start, to be honest with you, Pete. I think he's well above average, this dog, and a potential sort of top-grade sprinter in time to come. He's still learning the caper, but there's a big motor under the bonnet, and I guess over time we'll find out more, but I guess, come Mandurah Cup time and those sorts of races when real in-form sort of dogs are there, potentially we'll get down to maybe that 26-7 range in the next 12 months. But for now, I think that's a pretty solid benchmark.
Sunset Mirage is the favourite, Shorty, at $2.50 in this third heat of the Dawesville Cup.
Well, this was probably the most challenging of the Dawesville Cup heats. Most of them look fairly straightforward. I'm going to stick with the favourite, but not with enormous confidence. I think 250 is probably as trim as you'd be wanting to take here. There's pace in this race, and it's going to have to get everything right. That'll be the key to this race for Sunset Mirage. So 3 on top. From greyhound number 7 in Go Seek Katoni, really well graded in a series like this. This dog's been going around in some pretty tough races there in town, was in the free-for-all behind Runaway to Mars last time out. So dropping back to mixed grade provincial 4-5 is a nice grade drop. The map's a little sticky. Rip and Tomahawk will begin and want to get down. Mohican Mistress has got pace. Just needs to get the start right. If it can, it's certainly capable. One Redhead Rider is a chaser that appreciates being drawn the inside. It's certainly drawn where it wants to be this evening. And number 5 in Sparks Flying. 3, 7, 1 and 5.
I'll go 3, 2, 7, 5, 3 Sunset Mirage on top. I think he's going to be pretty hard to beat. It was a nice run last week. He was finished 5th and he was beaten 3 lengths by Bungee Man, but he wasn't a late out early and he really mustered 3. Caught my eye. For second, number 2, Can You Refine. For third, 7 in Go Seek Katoni. Like Shorty said, it's been racing against the top echelon at Cannington over the 520. And for fourth, 5 Sparks Flying. 3, 2, 7, 5, race 7.
I'll tip number 3, number 3, Sunset Mirage as well. 2 from 3 over the distance. I think he's a special. Number 8, Rip and Tomahawk, I think is going to cause a lot of interference from out wide when he gets across. I haven't got Go Seek Katoni in my top 4. I think he needs an inside box, Katoni. So I'll go 8 Rip and Tomahawk to run second at bigger odds. Number 1 Redhead Rider's already had support, and 2 Can You Refine. 3, 8, 1, 2, race 7. Race number 8, the Mark Simpson over the 488 metres. There's some stories to tell about Mark Simpson over the years, Shorty, which we probably don't have time this morning. Nangar Bubbles is the favourite here at $1.75, and she deserves that price in my opinion, and she loves the pink, so I'm putting her on top. Don't have to be Einstein for the reasons. Number 3, West On Boomer, has been impressive over the 400 metres. For third, number 7, All About Cole, who has a lot of ability, and 5, Carter Axelrod, as you'd expect. I think this is probably one of the stronger of the heats. 8, 3, 7, 5.
Indeed, Pete. No, I tend to agree. I think it's a very, very good race. So I'll go 8, 3, 7, 1. Make number 8 one of the best of the night. Nangar Bubbles. This chase has been going really well in town against some high-quality sprinters. Run down late by Bungee Man last week, but still broke 30 seconds. I thought the run was full of merit. Raced really well through the recent Mandurah Cup Series. Was a winner of its heat in 27.57 and then ran 4th in the final behind Hinto in good time again. It's got good early pace. A race where there's a little bit of early. Power of Molly messed up Mary West On Boomer, can all show early pace. They may find each other a little, though, and that allows Nangar Bubbles to zoom around the outside, roll to the top, and from there I don't think they'll be running Bubbles down. From number 3, West On Boomer, it was one of our best last week, and it was absolutely superb. It was feet on the dashboard stuff, a long way from home. It can run a really good second here. Number 7, All About Cole, will be very strong late. And number 1, Power of Molly, appreciates an inside draw, can be there in the mix. 8, 3, 7, 1.
I'll go 3, 8, 5, 1. 3 West On Boomer on top. He's won his last 2 at Mandurah in good time, 22.26, 22.23. He's strong to the line. He's got enough early speed to sort of match motors with Nangar Bubbles. It's just whether he can hang on. For second, 8 Nangar Bubbles. For third, 5 Carter Axelrod, who's been running some nice races at Cannington. And for fourth, I'll throw in 1 Power of Molly. 3, 8, 5 and 1 race 8.
Race number 9, If You Say, is the favourite currently at $2.
Just quickly, Pete, I don't know if I got your numbers. Race 8.
Did I go through them? No. Nangar Bubbles on top from 3, West On Boomer, 7, All About Cole, 5, Carter Axelrod, 8, 3, 7, 5 in race number 8. Race number 9, If You Say, is the favourite here, Jessie, at $2. I thought Clifton Matilda was a real live chance here. I liked her first up effort behind Warm Regards. I think she'll be stronger. Second look at the track, vacant box on her inside. I'm happy to go with her. 7 on top. 2 Dandle Up Dollar, I think, can certainly run a good race as well. The small field's going to help him. For third, number 4, If You Say, and 5, Overzealous. 7, 2, 4 and 5. I thought the favourite was under the odds. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it is a little bit under the odds because it's a raffle. It's a pretty open 652 metre affair. You got If You Say is probably going to be the early leader, but we know doesn't quite run out a strong 652 at this stage. I've got it on top from 2 Dandle Up Dollar. He's run a stack of placings over the trip. 3 starts, 3 thirds. For third, 5 Overzealous, bringing that 715 metre form at Cannington. This might be a good thing for her just to get her away from the city circuit and have a look at a different track. Might spark her up. And for fourth, I'll throw in 1 Clifton Isla. 4, 2, 5. 5-1 race night. It is a pretty open affair.
I thought number 4 was an absolute standout here. If you say, I'm very keen to get involved here. That was a absolutely steaming hot race that it ran into last week. I really liked a couple of the early runs that I saw from this dog here in WA. It was a sub 30-second winner there at Cannington, 29.87. Was then runner-up behind Trevor's Gift, was a nice effort. It's now had the benefit of 2 runs over the longer distance. Should be getting fit over this trip. Brought across some pretty nice form from Victoria when arriving here in WA. I think the drop in class is going to be perfect for If You Say. I just think it's got a class edge on the opposition, and very keen that it'll be getting the cash tonight. Made it one of the best bets. 4 on top, If You Say, to cash in on this grade of race from 7, 2 and 5.
Have I given my selections?
I've given mine.
Yeah, you've gone 7, 2, 4 and 5. Pete, Clifton Matilda from Dandalup Dollar, If You Say, and Overzealous.
You've thrown me there going best bet. The 4. Race 10, Neil Albury is the 10th event on the program. Favourite is with number 1, Uncle Tommy, at $1.28. Probably over the odds, Shorty.
Oh, yeah, maybe. It doesn't entice me too much, the $1.28, but this dog's flying. Loves the Mandurah circuit. Last time out, defeated, but gee, when you have a look at what time the leader went and the winner, Cubit Manelli.
Good dog beating.
Absolutely. You can forgive that. And prior, 3 starts in a row. Gee, it can draw a box 1, this dog. We'll be calling it Clifford, the big red dog soon. 3 reds in a row, a 6 and back to box 1 where the dog loves it.
And Tommy Shelby, during the week, and he only started his stud career at the beginning of the year, $2 million in stake money. I think he's currently in the top 15, which is remarkable.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Given how young he is as far as his stud career goes, it's a huge performance. Absolutely. Well done to Tommy. He's doing an excellent job at stud, and Uncle Tommy's a great advertisement for Tommy, because 10 starts, 7 wins, 2 seconds. Most likely 11 starts, 8 wins, 2 seconds after tonight. He does, from the draw, look likely to spear to the top, and that may well be the last they see of Uncle. From number 5, Miss Condoleezza, who continues to race really well. It's been in a purple patch of form for late. Gee, Damien Credelli's having a great run with his team at the moment. Great reward for the hard work that the whole family put into their team of greyhounds. Number 4 in Westdale Fury. This sort of grade, the dog's very capable of showing up. And I'll include number 3, Rich Link, off a break here. Chaser that has spent time up in Queensland, now here in WA, off a bit of a freshen up here. May well help to hit the frame at a bit of a price, but they'll all be chasing Uncle Tommy. 1, 5, 4, 3.
I'll go 1, 4, 7 and 5. 1 Uncle Tommy on top. He's going to be pretty hard to beat, and that's why he's a short quote. For second, 4 Westdale Fury. For third, 7 Flamboyant Lad. And for fourth, 5 Miss Condoleezza's run some hot times over the 300 metres. And like you said, good luck to Rich Link and Richie Bell, who owns that Chaser, Pete.
1, 4, 3 and 2. Yeah, good luck to Belly there in race number 10. Race 11 over the 400 metres. The favourite is with number 6, Our Benson, at $3. A greyhound who's been very impressive, winning 4 of his last 5. He's won 3 or 4 over the trip, obviously, and I think he's a standout tonight. From number 4, Jetworth, a greyhound who has got some early speed when he gets the start right. Number 5, Impress Rocks, and 2, Min Smiley. 6, 4, 5 and 2, Jesse.
I'll go 2, 6, 1, 7. 2 Min Smiley on top. She's not a noted quick beginner. She's more of a mustering type, but she's got a big motor. She's got a good record over the trip. 4 starts, 3 wins in the capable hands there of Ben McLean. For second, number 6 in Our Benson. I just think the box draw is a little bit sticky here. For third, number 1, Indigo Ruby. And for fourth, I'll throw in 7, Returning Tide, who's coming off a 300-metre track record there. 2, 6, 1 and 7, race 11.
Yeah, I've had something on at the double figure odds, Returning Tide, just off that performance last time out. Has to obviously bring that to 400 metres, but 1686 tells us that the dog's going pretty well, and double figure odds, you don't have to have much on to find out. We still need to see it, but yeah, I'm happy enough to disclose if it's something on it at the double figure odds. I think the price is pretty big for a dog coming off a hot run like that. I went with 6 on top, though, Our Benson. He was my on-top pick last week, and he was really impressive from the wide draw. I thought the win was good. The time, 22.31, no problem at all with what he's run there. If he reproduces that here, he's going to be right in the finish again. From number 7, Returning Tide, I just think the price is too big if it can reproduce what it did last time out. 2, Min Smiley, a lot of respect for this chaser, as Jesse alluded to. Winner 3 of 4, track and trip. Those numbers tell you the story. And number 4, Jetworth, is also very capable. This is a pretty high-quality edition of a Grade 5, 6, 7, 2 and 4.
Race number 12, the Oswald Hocking over the 400 metres. Have you heard that name?
No. Have you?
No. It'd be nice to actually get some information in regards to these names. I'll try and chase that up. But good luck to Oswald Hocking, who this race is named after. West on Outlaw, the favourite, Shorty at 240.
Yeah, pretty challenging finish to the night, but hard to knock what we've seen from West on Outlaw. Was a winner from a wide draw. In a novice, only 3 starts ago. Good win again last time out. Winning is a nice habit that this dog's in at the moment, and it looks the logical dog to beat from number 1, Really Serious, who comes up with a nice draw here and can certainly cash in. 3 leg press. Its best form certainly measures up in a race of this nature, and I'll include number 6, West on Fern, 7, 1, 3 and 6 in the last.
I'll go 7, 3, 1, 2, 7 West on Outlaw on top. It comes from box number 1 out to box 7, but has won in the past wearing the black rug. I think it's going to be a bit too hard to beat here. From 3 leg press, has been flying the boxes over the 488 metres of late. For third, number 1, Really Serious, and for fourth, I'll throw in 2, Bondi Manelli, 7, 3, 1, 2, race 12.
I'll go 7, 3, 6, 1 West on Outlaw in the last as well. Let's go to Ryan Levitsky for his best on tonight's program. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning, Pete.
How we find you?
Yeah, very well.
Good to hear. What's your best tonight? You were in good form again last night.
Yeah, a couple of short ones that I think will be winning. Race 4, number 2, Crumble Manelli. Race 8, number 8, Nangar Bubbles. And then a roughie in race 11 at $10, Returning Tide for Damien Credelli. Race 11, number 7. It's a good field, but this dog was very, very good last Sunday over 300. So I just think it's worth an each-way bet. Race 11 at number 7. And a quaddie tonight. First leg, 1, 2, 3, 4. Second leg, 1, 2 and 3. Third leg, Take the Field. Fourth leg, Stand Out the Good Thing, number 8, Nangar Bubbles. And that's $96 for $1.
Okay, and what about tomorrow night at Cannington?
Race 4, number 4, No Limit Needed. I see 440's gone up. I'm happy to be on at those odds. Race 6, number 1, Ballistic Ant, I think gets in well and can run a big race at $5. And the other one, race 9, number 7, Mazuma Mayhem. Quaddie, Standout 8, Couch Surfer. Second leg, 1, 4, 7, 8. Third leg, 1, 2, 3, 7. Fourth leg, 2, 4 and 6. And that's $48 for a full unit.
Do you like anything over the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday programs?
Yeah, Tuesday, Pete. In the last, race 12, I see Social Equities jumping up to the 488 and looks like an absolute flying machine, but it is over a longer trip. So I'm happy to be on Leclerc each way, race 12, number 1 for Cody Charles.
All right, beautiful. Enjoy the calling tonight, and we'll look forward to catching up with you again next week.
Okay, thanks, Pete.
Ryan Levitsky there with his thoughts on the program tonight. Shorty, your best and a quaddie, please.
Best bets for me, Pete. Race 1, number 7, Hopeland. Race 6, number 1, My Anarchy Boy. Race 8, number 8, Nangar Bubbles. Race 9, number 4, If You Say. So they're the 4 that I've rolled doubles, trebles and the 4-pack around. Quaddie for me tonight. First leg, 1 out, number 2, Cubic Manelli. Second leg, 1 out, number 1, My Anarchy Boy. Third leg, Field. And then final leg, numbers 3 and 8, West on Boomer and Nangar Bubble, $16 for a full unit.
Jesse?
I'll go race 4, number 2, Crumble Manelli. Race 7, number 3, Sunset Mirage. And a bit of value there. Race 8, number 3, West on Boomer, I thought could upset the favourite. For a quaddie, we'll stand out 2 in the first leg, 1, 3 the second leg, 3 in the third leg, and 2, 3, 8 in the final leg there, Pete.
All right, let's go and turn our attention across to the Saturday night program, which gets underway just after 7 o'clock. It's a novice over the 520. I think it's a good way to start the program. Sunset Nightjars at $3.50, which I like, and a little bit warped is the favourite, Shorty, the Kennelmate at $2.40. Which way are you going here? I thought a little bit warped was a little bit awkwardly drawn.
Yes, I'm going with number 2, Sunset Nightjar. Pete, I was pretty impressed by the run last week. I think Sunset Nightjar runs the splits to be leading this race, and then it just comes down to how close Little Bit Warp sits in the run. If it is found early and it can't get across into a clear second spot early, Sunset Nightjar may well be off and gone with the prize. If not, and Little Bit Warp sort of lands handy, we'll be sweating turning for home. That's pretty much how I see the race. So I'll go with number 2, though. I think we'll be on the leader and we'll certainly get a good sight for our money. I'll have the save with number 5. They're a little bit warped. I thought they looked a really good Quinella to kick off the program there on a Saturday night. Number 8, All About Stone. It'll be coming home hard over the concluding stages, as will number 3, Molfetta Drive. 2, 5, 8 and 3.
I'll go 8, 2, 5, 3. Number 8, All About Stone on top. A greyhound who took out the Young Stars Classic final in November. Hasn't had much luck in novice class races. He knows to get back, run on sort of dog, but I think he's got the ability to run down the likely leader in who I've got for second, Sunset Nightjar. For third, 5, Little Bit Warped. And for fourth, 3, Molfetta Drive has got that 600-metre form. So 8, 2, 5 and 3, race 1.
I thought he was a special, Sunset Nightjar. The way I've mapped the race, I think there's going to be a lot of trouble with so many of these greyhounds going together into that first corner, and he's got the speed to be able to lead, and he'll be off and running. I think he'll be 5 in front down the back. Hopefully that's what I'm calling anyway. 2 on top, Sunset Nightjar. I'll put number 8, All About Stone, who may miss the trouble from out wide in for second. 5, Little Bit Warped, and 3, Molfetta Drive. 2, 8, 5, 3 in race number 1. Race number 2, the Pam Julian, lovely lady of the sport, and Storm Alert is the favourite here, Shorty. Drifting favourite at $3. What do you think of his chances? He didn't have a lot of luck going back 2 starts ago, behind a little bit warped, and then I thought it was a really good run last start.
Yeah, I agree. The effort behind Imperial Sash was full of merit last week. Storm Alert, I've got it on top here. Just needs to find a spot early. That'll be the key. If it can punch up and hold a slot, then from there I think it's very capable of figuring in the finish. From number 1, Sad Emoji, gets the nice draw here to play a part. Number 4 in All About Rock, and I'll also include number 8, Hard Maintenance, who I thought was a pretty solid effort last week there when finishing runner-up. Of course, was beaten by Sunset Nightjar, who I'm keen on in the first. The other dog there, Ghost Emoji, can be getting into it as well. It's not an easy race. 2, 1, 4, 8.
I'll go 2, 8, 4 and 3. 2, Storm Alert on top. He's finished down the track behind some talented types like My Nicky Boy, All About Stone, and Imperial Slash last week. He's should be pretty close to this race. I think it's a little bit less step than what he was running in last week. For second, 8, Hard Maintenance. I think she should lead this race. She was a little bit underdone last week because she was a reserve the week before, so she didn't get a run. For third, number 4 in All About Rock, and for fourth, 3, Jet Khan. 2, 8, 4 and 3 in race 2.
2 on top, Storm Alert for me. I think he'll win. Sad Emoji is nicely drawn, doesn't have a lot of early speed, but the box should suit. For third, number 3, Jet Khan, and 5, Ghost Emoji. 2, 1, 3 and 5 in race number 2. To race number 3, it's over the 600 metres here, and Flying Frida's at 225, easing favourite, solidified, 240. I think this will be a really good betting race, Shorty. Both kennels don't mind to have a bet. Which way are you going?
I'm really keen. One of the best of the night, Flying Frida. I saw all I needed to see from Frida last week. I thought her 2 prior runs were solid without being at her very best. Last week, this is Frida just letting us know I am right back in the zone, because 34.47, I know they were running quick times last week, but you don't see a whole lot of dogs break the 34.5 mark, and Flying Frida comes up with box number 1 here. Just needs to get the start right, and she will take a power of beating. She's back firing on all cylinders, and for me, she's one of the best on the program. From number 3, Solidified, who's a very capable type in its own right. Number 6, Sunset Louis. Prefer to see it drawn closer to the inside, but it'll be very strong late once it gets to the rail. And number 8, Papa Mono, likewise. It'll get back, but it'll be charging home. But a few of the main dangers to Flying Frida aren't necessarily going to be able to put themselves right up there on top of the speed. When she gets it right at box rise, she can go bang and be right up there on top of the speed. And from there, I doubt they'll be running her down 1, 3, 6, 8.
I'll go 3, 1, 4, 5, 3 in Solidified on top. I think it should sit behind Flying Frida and go past her around the home corner. For second, Flying Frida. For third, 4, Hurricane Taylor. And for fourth, 5, Flashing Kuna. Much improved run last week. 3, 1, 4 and 5, race 3.
I think it'll be a really good race. I think Solidified needs to put pressure on Flying Frida early if he is to go past her. So I'll go with Flying Frida. I think that she'll find the top fairly easily. From number 3, Solidified, who's a very talented chaser. 6, Sunset Louis, and 5, Flashing Kuna. 1, 3, 6 and 5 in the third. To race number 4 on the program, the Reg Cook, and this is over the 520 metres. The favourite here on Tab Touch is with number 7, Bungee Man at 260, who was most impressive last week, Jesse.
Yeah, awfully impressive run coming from behind. It's not something we've usually seen from him in the past. I've got him on top from number 2 in Supercharge, a greyhound who's all the way back down in grade. It won't take too long for him to win. He hasn't won for 11 starts. He's crying out for a win and will come shortly. For third, number 4, No Limit Needed, who's been thereabouts. Probably a little bit disappointing. Just trying to see if she can get back to her best. She hasn't won for 21 starts. For fourth, I'll throw in 6, Moment to Hustle. A really good run last week from box number 1. Doesn't have a great record from box number 6, however. 7, 2, 4 and 6 in race 4.
That's a Shazam for me, exactly the same. 7 on top, Bungee Man, career best last week. This was enormous, from off speed to run down what was a high quality lineup. We've talked earlier about the Mandurah program and how keen most of us are on Nangar Bubbles tonight. Well, if you're liking it, you've got to like Bungee Man, because it gave it a cold on the way by last week. It was a stunning performance, and something like that again, we'll see it very hard to beat. I think Supercharge absolutely looms as a nice each-way save bet in the race. I love the Mandurah back to Cannington stuff. We've seen it with a dog like Dusty Deluxe. I think it can work a similar charm here for Supercharge. Only problem with Supercharge, it hasn't got that early, so it needs that bit of luck navigating through a field. You need to be able to get each way odds, and fortunately, $8 and $2.60. I think Supercharge is an excellent each way bet in the race. Number 4, No Limit Needed. It's going okay, but not up to its very best, and just want to see it win before I tip it on top. And number 6, Moment to Hustle. 7, 2, 4, 6.
Just take note, we've spoken about this over the last few weeks, Shorty, about the times. Last week's track was electric.
Steaming hot.
Yeah,
yep.
So just take that in. I don't think we'll see that quicker track on Saturday night. So take that in note when you're doing the forms.
Oh,
a lot of
week.
greyhounds did
PBs, yeah, by a margin too. So I think the 700-metre race was a great example of it.
Yep.
We'd barely seen a greyhound break 42.10, and they went 41.50 odd. So
and the first 3 placings all broke 42 seconds.
Correct. And this is an anomaly, because for a long period of time, not many dogs were going under sort of 34.8, and not much was going under 42.10 over 700. So I think, it's a really good point you raise. And I don't know if it was just a one-off for that meeting, but one thing you certainly do know is that dogs that have run quick times on the night are in form and racing well.
Just on that too, last week King Tommy did a hock. He went across to South Australia, was operated yesterday, and all went very well. So I heard from the kennel yesterday. So.
Same, yeah, which is great news.
Yep.
He's a real favourite of mine, and I'm glad to hear that all went well. And fingers crossed we can see him back at the track in the near future.
Yeah, we're going to miss a few of them though. Like there won't be him. Electrified, we won't see during the Perth Cup Carnival, which is just around the corner, and also the Sand Groper. So there's a few of them that'll be missing, but it'll give the opportunity for some young dogs to come through, and we've got some really slick ones at the moment.
We've got some genuine emerging talent here in Western Australia at the moment, and a few of them are actually going around tonight there at Mandurah in those Dawesville Cup heats, working through the grades. So, greyhounds like My Anarchy Boy are the sort of dogs that may well step up to the plate for Perth Cup Series and the like in the new year.
Yep, looking forward to that. Race number 4, I'm going 7, 6, 4 and 2. I was wrapped with the run of Bungee Man last week, and I think Moment to Hustle brings him across right into this race. Number 4, No Limit Needed, 2 Supercharged, 7, 6, 4 and 2. Race number 5, the Greyhounds WA Christmas Gift Final. Couch Surfer is the $1.70 favourite. This race has been won for the last 2 years by Sean Kavanagh, We the People, Superman Keeping, and Sean has a couple of runners here, including Superman Keeping, who I thought was a nice run 2 starts back and had no luck at all last start. Not sure if you're going to put him in your top 3 or 4, Shorty, but Couch Surfer does look hard to beat, even though he doesn't have the best of records from wide draws. No,
the draws are somewhat of a hang-up here, but probably if you're going to pick a distance to have the dog from box 8, 7:15 would be that trip for the dog. Still got it on top. We talked about it last week. He's the reigning champ. He's the benchmark when you talk about 700-metre racing in Western Australia here at the moment. A winner 13 of 18 track and trip. Stunning win last week in 41.59. Nothing looked like getting near it. If it runs to that again, it wins again. From number 6, West On Nugget, an emerging stayer that's got a really bright future. Number 2, Dusty Deluxe, a big price here, 17 and 380. I've been with Dusty the last 2 weeks, and I've had 2 lovely results out of this greyhound. As we discussed, the switch up to Mandurah was just what the doctor ordered with Dusty. He's never chased better, and I would expect, while this is a steaming hot lineup, I wouldn't at all faint if he hit the frame at a big price there on Saturday night. And number 5, Clifton Cruz, is that dog that just continues to front up and be the dog that runs in behind Couch Surfer week in, week out, 8, 6, 2 and 5.
I'll go 8, 6, 5, 1, 8. Couch Surfer on top is going to be awfully hard to beat. The slight question mark is he's never really raced in full field conditions over the 715 metres. We've seen him in the past over the 600 race in full field conditions, but that is also a bend start. Box 8 will be interesting, but I've got him on top. He's definitely the class 700 metre runner. For second, 6, the Kennelmate Weston Nugget. For third, 5, Clifton Cruise. And for fourth, 1, Corborn Roses. 8, 6, 5, 1, race 5.
Yeah, he hasn't been beaten in his last 7 over the 715 metres by any greyhound in WA, and I don't think he'll be beaten in this Christmas gift final, so I'll put him on top. He wins here. He's won $250,000 in stake money. I'll ask you if we have time later on, boys, whether you think he's a chance in the WA Greyhound of the Year voting, but I'm putting Couch Surfer on top. From 6, West on Nugget, the Kennelmate. 5, Clifton Cruise. 2, Deluxe, Dusty Deluxe. 8, 6, 5, 2, race 5. Race 6 is the Shirley Cotter over the 600 metres, and here we see the favourite is number 7, Warm Regards, at $3.80. I'm going Disco Trixie, who's currently a $6.50 chance. I know her form of late hasn't been overly impressive, but she's been behind a couple of really smart types, including Couch Surfer a couple of times, and I think in this open race, back in her grade, provincial grade 5, she can really play a major part. So 6 on top from 2, Wooden Hands, 7, Warm Regards, Shorty, 3, Mongolian Tiger, 6, 2, 7, 3.
This is an absolute dartboard job. It's a field leg for me in the quaddie. I think it looks really messy, and it really could be a messy race. I've ended up with number 2 on top, Wooden Hands. I thought last week's run was full of merit. Finished behind Flying Free to beat in 6 1/4, but it stuck on pretty well from that wide draw. Has won 4 and been placed another 8 times from 22 starts. So pretty consistent type on an each-way basis. Number 2, Wooden Hands. From 3, Mongolian Tiger, greyhound who keeps getting better. 3 starts ago, won a similar race in 35.08. Something like that here could be pretty competitive. 7, Warm Regards. Love what the dog's done down there at Mandurah. Ran into a very hot lineup last week, and I thought still handled itself pretty well, finishing 3rd. 600 metres, box 7. Small concern as to exactly where Warm Regards gets to in the run, but I love the fact it's had that time at Mandurah, now back to Cannington, as I've touched on a couple of times in the preview today. And a stack of dogs have really sparked off a similar sort of campaign. So watch for Warm Regards to run a good race. 1, Ballistic Ants there. 6, Disco Trixie. It's really challenging. 2, 3, 7, 1.
I'll go 1, 2, 7 and 6. 1, Ballistic Ant on top. I don't think she's won since the WA Distance Championship final, where she took it out at pretty big odds. But I think tonight's the night. She hasn't been blessed with the box draws of late. In fact, she's had a horror run. 7, 2, 7, 4, 8 and 8. She comes into box number 1. Good record. I think she can turn the tables on some of these other greyhounds. For second, 2, Wooden Hands. Like Shorty said, nice run last week when leading for a long, when running second for a long way. For third, 7, Warm Regards. And for fourth, I'll throw in 6, Disco Trixie. 1, 2, 7 and 6 in race 6.
They are at the start at Geelong for the running of race number 1. We'll be heading across there shortly, but race number 7's over the 520 metres. This should be a good betting race. I'll ask Jesse his thoughts of his dad's greyhound, Seriously Lush, who has drifted in the market. $2.90. Soda Mac, was impressive on debut at $3.20.
I'll go 2, 7, 1 and 8. 2, Soda Mac on top. Was really good last week. I was able to call it. It was impressive. Just led all the way. Treated the field with content. It was a mixed 5-6. Comes up to provincial 4-5 company here, but should be too good. For second, 7, Mixed Dozen. Racing well over the 600 metres and the 700 metres in the past. First up over the trip will be interesting. For third, 1, Seriously Lush. I could not recommend anyone to back this dog, Pete. It's just, it's losing sequence of 22. I think that says enough. And for fourth, 8, Bell Violin, 2, 7, 1 and 8, race 7.
Not a strong push from the kennel.
Fair to say, Pete. 2, 1, 7 and 8 for me. 2 on top, Soda Mac. Liked its debut performance here in the West. From number 1, Seriously Lush, from the draw, can hit the frame. 7, Mixed Dozen will be strong late. Number 8, Bell Violin, runs a stack of placings. 2, 1, 7, 8.
2, 1, 7, 8, exactly the same for me, Shorty. Seriously Lush does grow a leg from box number 1, but I like the win of Soda Mac first up from Victoria. Race 8, Free for All for the Tony Denton over the 520 metres, and the favourite here on Tab Touch in this market has Runaway to Mars at $2, who was, I thought, most impressive last week, holding out Solidify going into that first corner, and I think he wins again. Number 2, Inside Scoop, nicely drawn, is chasing well, but I think gets crossed early. For third, number 6, in Honestly 2, who was a nice win last start down at Mandurah when returning, and number 8, Custard Manelli, 4-2-6-8. There's only a small field, but it's a fair bit of depth in this race.
It certainly is. Moving in nicely here for the first at Geelong, punters. Get your bets on there. Come in Spinner, our current favourite there. I'm going to go here 2, 4, 6 and 8. 2 inside scoop, fresh off feature rake success last week. Draws inside again. 4 Runaway to Mars, big danger, as is 6 Honestly 2 back to Cannington after an impressive win there at Mandurah last time out. Not much between those 3, and then number 8 Custard Manelli, 2, 4, 6, 8.
I'll go 4, 2, 8, 6, 4 Runaway to Mars on top from 2 inside scoop. For third, 8 Custard Manelli, and for fourth, 6 Honestly 2 is going to be interesting, stepping back up to the 5.20 after that good win at Mandurah last start, Pete.
Let's go through the last few races because they are at the start of Murwillumbah for the running of race number 1. No market up for the 9th. Fennec Fox is a greyhound who has been chasing without a lot of luck. I thought the inside draw might help her on Saturday night. Shorty, I'm going to put her on top from 6 Zach's Thunder. Good winner going back 3 runs ago. I'm just concerned about the draw. 7 Mazuma Mayhem and 5 Rogue Runner. 1, 6, 7, 5.
7, 1, 6 and 5 for me, Pete. 7 on top, Mazuma Mayhem. The switch from Mandurah to Cannington may be the winning move. From 1, Fennec Fox, 6, Zach's Thunder, and 5, Rogue Runner. 7, 1, 6, 5.
I'll go 7, 6, 5 and 2. 7 Mazuma Mayhem on top. Has only run that twice at Cannington. Was pretty respectable in maiden class company. He's a different dog to when he was racing last at Cannington. I think he will expect a lot of improvement on the clock. For second, number 6 in Zach's Thunder. For third, 5 Rogue Runner. For fourth, 2 Essential Choice. 7, 6, 5, 2, race 9.
Race number 10 on the program. No market up here either. Which way are you going, Jesse?
I'll go 1, 8, 6 and 4. One Stellar Forever was sent out one of the favourites last time over the 380 metres in a provincial free-for-all, and around 21.89 was a good winner. I think can back it up again. For second, 8 Sunset Cobra, rising up in class now. For third, 6 Dash Yak, and for fourth, 4 Miss Valentine's. Been running some good races for Michael Rylands there. 1, 8, 6 and 4, race 10.
To make number 8 Sunset Cobra one of the best bets on a pretty tricky night. Greyhound that's made winning a habit. 14 starts, 7 wins, 3 placings, track and trip. Came from this draw last time out when defeating Speedy Willow in 21.75. Greyhound that's very capable, gets room to zoom. I think it's the one to beat. From number 6 Dash Yak, 1 Stellar Forever off the inside, certainly a danger, and 7 Notorious Harada bursting to win another race. 8, 6, 1, 7.
Race 10, the Vince Borg it is, and he had some good greyhounds over the years. Shorty, I remember Vince. 8, 1, 7 and 5. Sunset Cobra to be able to cross from out wide, likes the pink.
Colloquial was one that springs to mind.
You've got a very good memory, Shorty.
Yeah, it was a good dog.
Very good memory. Yeah. Race 11. The over the 380 metres, no market up here. I'm going to David Hobby to win the last couple. Sunset Mayhem on top from 4 Tommy Fumble, who will certainly be right in this race. Number 5 Wise Doney, 8 Escapeway, 7, 4, 5 and 8 in race number 11.
Shazam for me, 7, 4, 5 and 8 in the last 7 on top. Sunset Mayhem.
All right, Jesse, we're going to your selections in the last.
7, 4, 5, 8, 7 with Sunset Mayhem on top. For second, 4 Tommy Fumble. Really should improve because he's drawn inside one of the favourites now. He might be able to hold it out. For third, 5 Wise Doney, and for fourth, I'll throw an 8 Escapeway, who took out the dart last week. 7, 4, 5 and 8, race 11.
Best in the quaddie, please.
Race 5, number 1 Ballistic Ant at a bit of value there, and race 9, number 7 Mazuma Mayhem. For a quaddie, we'll go standout 8 Couch Surfer from field, 2 Soda Mac, and then 2, 4 and 6 in the final leg there, Pete.
Okay, what about you, Shorty?
I thought it was a pretty tricky night Saturday night, Pete. I really like Mandurah tonight, but Saturday a little more challenging. I'll go race 1, number 2, Sunset Nightjar, 2 and 5, Quinella. Race 3, number 1, Flying Frida. And race 10, number 8, Sunset Cobra as my 3 key plays. Quaddie-wise, first leg, 6 and 8. That's West on Nugget and Couch Surfer. Second leg's that 600-metre race. I thought anything could win. I'll take the field there. Third leg, 1, 2 and 7. Seriously Lush, Soda Mac and Mix Dozen. Final leg, 2, 4 and 6. Inside Scoop, Runaway to Mars, Honestly 2. 144 for a full unit. $28.80 will get you 20%. That fits into my budget there Saturday night, Pete.
Okay, and later on this afternoon when we get the podcast dropping, you guys will be looking at the weekend's racing and, of course, the Phoenix tomorrow night.
Indeed, yes. Ethan Christian will join us to have an in-depth look at the big race from the Meadows on Saturday night, the Phoenix. And, of course, worth noting too, punters, there is a massive quaddie carryover on races 5 through to 8, the Meadows on Saturday night, 250,000 carrying over. That pool expected to be north of $1 million. So if you like a bet on the greyhounds, get involved. The Meadows, do your form for the quaddie races 5 through to 8. If you're looking for a helping hand, do tune in to the Mail Collection podcast later on this afternoon. We do our best quaddies of the weekend, and we've chartered Ethan Christian to come together with a combination that will be suitable for that particular race, races 5, 6, 7 and 8 for Saturday night. So get involved there. And the feature race itself on the program, Pete, I think they've drawn together a stunning field for the Phoenix. It's not an easy race, though, it must be said. I think a lot of early luck is going to go a long way. There's plenty of early burn in the race. The market tells us how open it is. Hector Foley, I think, is the great roving banker style of greyhound. There's a lot of early pace in the race. Hector Foley hasn't got that, but what he has got is an incredible finishing burst. I think he'll be hitting the frame, so almost anything could win it. Hector Foley to just be running sort of second, third or fourth in this race seems quite likely. He's the 440 favourite, past the bucket 460, Alpha Zulu 5, Big Energy 550, Postman Pat 6, Wow She's Fast. What a story it would be if Wow She's Fast could come out and take out the Phoenix there on Saturday night. The recent trial was absolutely stunning. J is J at $13, Transponder 14, Aussie Rocks 19 and Scalacci a $26 chance. It comes up Saturday night, 6:50, 10 to 7 WA time. Good luck to everybody having a punt and indeed all of the connections and slot holders involved with the Phoenix.
Good on you, Shorty. Thanks for that. And also thank you, Jesse. Enjoy your Friday and weekend as well.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelpline.org.au.